So now it's time to write a melody for your original chord progression. You should do this video first because we're going to use Taylor Swift's Shake It Off to show you how you can do simple variations with the concepts of music to write really effective little phrases using the major pentatonic. So if we have a look at writing a melody, the most important things you've got to think about are repetition and variation. Repetition is really popular in pop music because it makes the phrase stand out and makes it memorable for a listener. The phrase structure that we're going to look at, so how the little melodies are put together, is we're going to have a first little statement of melody, then we're going to repeat that, and then we're going to use a third statement somewhere else to be able to wrap up what we've said earlier. So an intro, a repetition, and then like a little conclusion phrase. And she does that in every single section. You'll see as we keep going, how she uses contrast, really, really subtle contrast, to be able to achieve variety in all of the different phrases across the three sections in the tune that we're going to look at. So without any further ado, we go over to the A section. You'll notice that her first phrase is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes long. It uses this same combination of notes from the scale, so note 5, 3, 2, 1, 3. You'll see that repeats over here. So there's the first statement, there's the second statement, and then just like we said earlier, the third statement wraps up what we've said by going a little bit lower in pitch. It looks very similar in the front half of the statement, but then as we get down to here, it gets a little bit longer and we go further down in pitch. She then repeats that phrase to sort of give us a nice little, again, a piece of repetition, but also to give us a nice little bit of unity at the end of the section. The pitch is very high and it uses quavers and minims with lots of rests, so these little bursts of statement. So that's what characterizes the A melody. Then she gets down here to the B section, and the phrases start to get longer. So we get minims and crotchets. So the rhythm is a lot simpler than what the A melody was. It also starts to use these notes 2 and 6. We didn't really see 6 at all, I don't think, or we did a little bit down here, but it wasn't a big emphasis. Whereas here, 6 starts to make more of an appearance, and the combinations of notes is 2, 6, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 6. You see it again over here. So first statement, repetition of the first statement, and then over here we get this little tail off phrase with more quavers and a little bit of syncopation to be able to finish off the B section. It gives us a little bit of lower pitch and simpler rhythms. That's our B section phrase. Then down here for the C section, you'll notice here that we start to get this return of the quaver motif that happens in the A section melody. But the phrase is much longer and it's very continuous. So it continues on for almost 4 bars before we get a rest. Up in the A section, it was like really short and then a long rest. Whereas she goes down here and starts to have lots of notes before the rest. Then we have the same little phrase down here. So lots of repetition. And we start to use a much wider range of pitches. So we're going from an E at its highest point to the C at its lowest point. So that's a really, really quick way to be able to show you how to create variety using rhythm, using pitches, so higher pitches, lower pitches, and all the range of pitches across the 3 sections, and different phrase lengths. And that's how she's created variety in that section. So now when it comes to writing your melody, make sure that if you want to use a high pitch for your A melody, use low pitches for your B melody. If you want to use short note values for your A melody, use long values for your B melody. Create that really obvious contrast when it comes to writing your melodies.